Welcome back to the Friendsim Fridgestuck train. Glad to see you. Today we're going to cover the mysterious Oliveblooded trolls. Ow. Phil, what did you do?
Saving us all a lot of time and simping nonsense.
My mouth tastes like ozone. Best girl, best girl, best girl. Polypa Gozzi's first name derives from polyps, creatures like sea anemones or corals from the phylum Cnidaria. Basically, any sedentary creature in the water that is vase-shaped with tentacles around the mouth. Because of this description, some species of jellyfish during their sedentary early life stages are also called polyps. That was more wholesome than I thought it would be, although it still sticks Polypa in a predatory light.
What did you think it meant?
I was thinking more of the polyps in the human body. Come on, Alternia is gross, man. Why not go for the grossest option? Polypa's caste name could be connected to her profession as a mercenary, as there was a serial killer from the last century by the name of Guzzi. Or it could be due to her more chibi-form's design, with her face covered in gauze bandages, presumably from her tragic backstory. As she states in her Friendsim route, Polypa's peaceful early years were ripped from her when a group of trolls hopped up on Soper Slime, burned down her house, and killed her Lucis. One of the members, a Goldblood, even used his psionic powers to break both her legs before leaving her to die. Luckily, she was rescued and nursed back to health by her neighbor, a sword-toting teal-blood boy. Her placeholder name was Survivor, after all. Because of this tragic incident, Polypa prides herself on being the mercenary who will take out anyone on the hemo spectrum, from the highest violet blood to the lowest rusty. In the same Good Route ending, Polypa reveals that, prior to the incident, she ran a relationship advice blog and enjoyed reading romance novels. Though she's become more jaded and hardened over the sweeps, and her taste in entertainment seems to have changed, as she gripes about the tropes of the romantic comedy while on her fake date with the MS Paint adventure reader. In Polypa's Troll Call and Friendsim promos, the phrase, "can't catch her if she's on fire," is repeated. This could be seen as a reference to Hiveswap Act 1 writer Christopher Hastings and his webcomic The Adventures of Dr. McNinja. In one scene, the comic's namesake, Dr. McNinja, deals with another ninja who set himself on fire to avoid being captured. That's like the #1 way not to get kidnapped. Already be on fire. Though her Troll Call footnotes say that her bandages are not related to fire. Then where do the bandages come from? Girl, put that personalized lighter away, you're gonna burn yourself. Though speaking of ninjas, Homestuck artist Adrian Garcia, aka Papers Everywhere, claims that Polypa's bandaged hands and feet were references to the typical getup of the Chunin character design from Naruto. Though wrapped bandages are part of almost every ninja's getup in that show, no matter the rank, let's be real. In particular, Polypa's bandaged face reminds me personally of Dosu Kinuta, one of the villains during the Chunin exam arc. The ninja stylings continue, as it's been confirmed by Aisha Yufara, the director herself, that Polypa's typing quirk represents a ninja star being thrown through the sentence before hitting a wall at the end. Polypa went through a couple different designs, one of which sporting a pair of familiar-looking blue Wolverine-style claws. Her two placeholder signs were Leocorn, sign of the unforgiving, and True Leo, sign of the disciple. The former fitting considering her backstory. On the Volume 5 path selection screen, and early in her route, Polypa also sports a mystery Goldblood symbol that is nowhere to be found in the extended Zodiac. Quite the Easter egg, since if the reader knew the extended Zodiac well, they'd be able to spot the symbol as a fake and know that whoever was sporting the symbol was not who they appeared to be. Her final design reveals Polypa's true sign is Leus, sign of the flexible. Aw, it's got cat ears on the sign. Being a Leus, Polypa is a potential prospect dreamer and hero of breath, like John Egbert and Tavros Nightram. I knew I liked this girl for some reason. Polypa makes a couple more appearances in Friendsim. In Volume 10, she officially is revealed to be Tagiri's friend, and the only other member of the anime club. While Tagiri saved her life, she keeps her mercenary job secret from him, and doesn't seem to notice his pale feelings for her, as she openly calls the reader her moirail in front of him. A more battered-looking Polypa appears on the yellow olive train car in Hiveswap Act 2, and, after complaining about the couple in question, agrees to help Joey and Zephyros break up the fight between fellow mercenaries Asdaya Neelix and Konyyl Okama. Speaking of which, Konyyl Okama's first name could be a trollified spelling of Konyyl, the Azerbaijani word for heart, soul, or desire. Okama comes from the language of the Plains Cree tribe in North America. Okama means chief, and it's often used as a root word for other words such as throne, royalty, or crown in the same language. Historically, the Plains Cree were your average hunter-gatherer society, until Europeans introduced them to horses and firearms. With these, the Plains Cree became militant and started raiding and warring with other Plains tribes. Konyl's wild and aggressive nature and appearance could be a reference to this. In Konyl's troll call and Friendsim promos, it says that graphic violence is her passion, a reference to the graphic design is my passion meme. Her promos also say that she is a strong, broad shoulder to cry on. Konyyl is a crouching tiger hidden softie. She comforts the queasy reader during her route and even gifts them a phone. While in the bad ending for her boyfriend's route in Volume 9, she keeps Asdaya from killing you. As much as she likes murder, she's not going to see a friend hurt. Because of her violent tendencies, Konyll's placeholder name was Duelist. Huh. No wonder she's mate sprits with Asdaya. Polypa mentions their mercenary team in Volume 7, as the pair that usually steals jobs from her. A bit of an inconsistency, though, since Friendsim's Konyyl says they've been dating for multiple sweeps, while in Hiveswap Act 2, Asdaya says they've been dating for one. Despite their infighting, Konyyl cares deeply for Asdaya, and wants him to see her as capable when he's not around. Konyyl loves Asdaya's overdramatic actions, and Asdaya, like Spike Spiegel, loves a woman who can kick his butt. Opposites do attract. Good thing their vacillating feelings get settled in Hiveswap Act 2, though, since I'm not sure where Skylla would fall into the picture. In Konyl's route, we reunite briefly with the rusty rancher, and her bold, stubborn attitude and fine features has Konyyl feeling pitch. She can't stop making Freudian slips around her. Though it is kind of funny that the troll based on Indians is crushing on the cowgirl troll. So am I the only one wondering where Chibi Konyyl got her eye patch from in between Friendsim and Hiveswap Act 2? It was probably from a fleeing target, maybe even the one that causes the infamous argument on the yellow olive train car in Hiveswap Act 2, but I'd like to know for sure. Also, why is she wearing Jacksepticeye's logo on her shirt? Actually, Konyl's sign is Lepia, sign of the synthesizer. Like one who merges materials or resolves conflict between two thoughts, not an actual synthesizer. As Lepia, Konyyl is a potential Durst dreamer and a hero of light, like Rose Lalonde. The character who isn't good at thinking things through is the knowledge player. Okay, I see nothing wrong here. Boldir Lamati's first name has several potential meanings. Many older Homestucks claim that Boulder sounds similar to Mulder, like Agent Fox Mulder from The X-Files. So-called Spooky Mulder was the believer to his partner Dana Scully's skeptic, as the pair solved fringe cases connected to paranormal events. Boulder's name could also be connected to the Norse god of a similar name, Balder. You remember Balder. I mentioned him in Sarava Hermod's section a couple of videos back. AKA the only reason Hermod is mentioned in Norse mythology at all is because of Balder's death. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Balder was the golden child of the Asgardians, associated with light, goodness, bravery, you get the picture. One day, however, Balder started getting nasty dreams about his imminent demise for some reason. This causes Balder's mother, Frigg, to get worried, and she travels through all the realms, asking everyone and everything to promise not to hurt her son. And since Balder is a universal must protect, everything in the cosmos agrees. Frigg, however, neglects to ask Mistletoe, because it's so young and harmless, what could possibly go wrong? Balder, by proxy, has just become invulnerable to nearly everything. And, as you do, the halls of Asgard have turned his force field ability into a game, throwing things at the godling and watching them bounce off him for fun. But Jen, you hyperventilating vixen, I hear you say. How did Balder die? Well, Loki, god of mischief, you know him surely. Upon learning that mistletoe was the only thing accepted from the promise not to hurt Balder, Loki gathered some mistletoe, fashioned it into a spear, and got Balder's blind brother Hoder to toss it at Balder. Balder dies instantly. Asgard loses their minds. While the other gods prepare for Balder's funeral, Hermod travels to Hel and asks Hel herself to give his brother back. Hel makes him a deal. If all creation cries for Balder, Balder can come back to life. Hermod travels to the realms to cause the biggest cry fest there ever was. Everyone mourned for Balder, except for Loki, who was in disguise. So Balder has to stay low-key dead, but it's prophesied that Balder will return after Ragnarok is over and the Earth is reborn. So it's not a crazy coincidence that Boldir gets poisoned in both of her routes, and dies in one of them. Mistletoe is actually poisonous, by the way. Its toxins affecting small children and animals the worst. And that was just Boulder's first name. Her caste name, Lamati, could be seen as a shortened, trollified version of the word Illuminati. Whether real or fake, the Illuminati is seen nowadays as a secret organization where the people in power puppet master the affairs and events of the world's governments and corporations to establish a new world order. In media, the Illuminati are typically shown working in the shadows, controlling the levers of power and influence over the world. Considering Boulder's connection to conspiracy theories, especially those concerning a certain man in the moon influencing the narrative itself, the name seems fitting. Boulder's troll call and Friendsim promos are the same, stating her big coat and tinfoil-lined hat keep her safe while on her mission to expose the deep state lunacracy, aka Doc Scratch. That's why her clothes are so big, they're full of secrets. And apparently a lot of weaponry. Boulder keeps tabs on Doc Scratch, possibly through meditation with the metaphysical universe, and with the help of a group of mysterious informants, who have yet to be seen. Though the phrase meat space, and the fact they communicate via crow, is making me raise my brows. In one of her prototype designs, her sign is Leeson, sign of the Provident, which would have made her a potential Durst dreamer and a hero of blood. But in reality, Boulder's sign is Lilo, sign of the Steadfast, making her a potential Prospect dreamer and a hero of heart. This makes Boulder currently the only named troll in Hiveswap whose aspect matches that of her blood cast's true sign, Leo, sign of the Disciple. Maybe this is the reason why she grabbed Doc Scratch's attention in the first place, and why she's so aware of the fourth wall and her place within the full story. As for other appearances, Boulder appears on the yellow olive train car in Hiveswap Act 2. Her dialogue seems to be hinting at something that we, the players, are going to do later in the Hiveswap series. Or she is talking about the future events of Homestuck Squared. Though it is fun that Joey compares Boulder's eccentric talking points to Jude, since Jude is the conspiracy theorist of the family. Also, Jude's favorite X-Files character is Mulder, while skeptical Joey's favorite is Scully. Oddly enough, Boldir is also one of the few Hiveswap characters to appear in Pester Quest. She appears in Volume 6 for Vriska's route, telling the reader that they are the ones in control over what happens in the universe. See, the whole post-canon multiverse thing going on here is hurting my brain. And now for this guy. Charon's first name seems to come directly from Charon, one of the psychopomps from Etruscan mythology. Not to be confused with Charon, the underworld ferryman from Greek myth, though Charon is roughly based on him. And I do mean roughly. As a psychopomp, Charon's major duties involved guiding the newly deceased into Hades, and guarding the underworld entrance with his giant hammer. Charon is sometimes depicted threatening people with his hammer and his monstrous appearance. Snakes for hair, fiery eyes, large pointy ears, boar's tusks, discolored gray skin. I mean, I guess Troll Charon fits the bill? They do have the gray skin, underbite fangs, yellow eyes, and pointed ear-like horns. Charon's cast name, Konyyl, if written backwards, could be the trollified version of Bjork, the Icelandic word for birch. It could also be a reference to the geologist and paleontologist Philip Reese Bjork, famous for his dinosaur excavations in America. Likewise, Charon also excavates, though through trash instead of earth. Their troll call and Friendsim promos call them a lost and found artist, referencing Charon gathering and outright stealing trash and other discarded materials to make statues and other weird art pieces. It's no wonder that Gatherer was their placeholder name. Speaking of which, you may have guessed already, but Charon replaced the original fishing gatherer troll from the old 3D Hiveswap asset days. Several of the design elements crossed over, such as blood color, the boots, and the baggy pants, and possibly their lucis, as the gatherer troll is more insect-like in appearance than Charon is. Though the hat is new, as is the symbol. The sign on their bandana looks like a cat's mouth, especially when pulled over their face. That's cute. According to the extended zodiac, Charon's sign is Leaborn, sign of the paradox, making them a potential Durst dreamer and hero of rage, similar to Zephyros' sign, Ereborn. I guess as a paradox, it's because Charon is not exactly into making friends or being friendly, willing to ditch the player character over the littlest things. You think my art looks interesting? I don't want to be friends then. Though if we're going by Boulder's definition of paradoxes being irrelevant, I guess that explains why we don't see them ever again. As for other appearances, like Zebedee Tongva, Charon was cut from Hiveswap Act 2, sometime late in development, since they were shown in the official trailer that is still up on Steam. Instead, we visit their hive on the way to the train station, and potentially recycle the traffic cones in their front yard for Joey's disguise. Depending on whether you chose the cones or the cornucopias from Zebedee's hive for Joey's troll disguise, you'll get a different achievement for each. And that's all the fridge facts I have for the Oliveblooded trolls of Friendsim. I hope you enjoyed. There are probably headcanons aplenty out there, so you'll have to forgive me if I missed one or didn't think to include it, especially since Hiveswap Act 3 is on the horizon. Woo! I'm probably gonna have to mend some things later on. We've got a few more stops for the Friendsim fridge train, and I hope to see you for the next one. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye! Ah, romance. Same dough, same Zephyros.
Hey there. Consider becoming a patron, just like the phenomenal Bleed Red, Alexander Madeline, and Cloudy Days.